and welcome to Namutoni. So this is the entrance into Namutoni. It's got a beautiful entrance, nice big white welcome to Namutoni sign, flags, and you can see the fort right at the end there. We'll go and look around the fort in a little while. Now I've timed to do this middle of the afternoon, as you can probably hear with the cicadas screaming in the heat. But the reason I've done it now is my idea is to try and walk down the middle of the road to get a nice bit of footage without getting run over. This is going to be a lot easier said than done, because obviously this is the only way in and out the fort. So there's a few people arriving and checking in, and there's a few people already going out on their afternoon game drive, which, depending when they're going, might be a bit early, or if they've come here for lunch and they're heading back to Halali for the afternoon, for their evening. But look, I have almost made it with no cars. So it's a beautiful entrance into Namutoni. You've got that nice entrance, and then the cascade of flags and the fort glowing white in front of you. Then you come to this beautiful area here on the left. You see this grassy area. That's the gardens. You'll see a skull of an elephant there, afternoon lurry. And the building on the left hand side behind that grassy area is the reception, where we'll be heading in to show you in a minute. On the right hand side is the petrol station. Unfortunately, there's an issue with petrol supply, so is not open at the moment, which is a shame. We'll keep you updated on that. But usually there is petrol available here. Currently the closest place for petrol is Oshivelo, outside of the park to Namutoni area. Okay, now I must not get run over. They've gone that way. That car's going to reverse and hopefully miss me. So you can see the fort is above us, in front of us. We're going to go left here, and we're going to be going into the reception area. So when you first arrive in Namutoni, you come in here to check in with your accommodation and to pay your park fees. You can only pay park fees as the MET desk at Namutoni, Okakwayo and Galton Gate. So you must go to one of those. So you go in here. What they will need is your NWR booking reference, and that's the 3 desks on the left. Okay. The desk on the right hand side is the MET desk. That's the Ministry of Environment and Tourism, where you pay your park fees. So ladies on the left for your accommodation, lady on your right for your park fees. Make sure you keep receipts for everything. And then there's a nice seating area here, and they will sign you in nicely. Okay, so once you have your accommodation, whether you're in the rooms or bush chalets or the camping, afternoon, you'll then head out this way, get back in your vehicle and drive round and head towards the fort. You don't drive through the fort. You take the road round to the right hand side and you drive to all the accommodation from here. You don't have to leave your car here. If you're in the bush chalets or a room, you will have to pay a 500 Namibian dollar key deposit in cash. That can be paid in Namibian dollars or rand, but not in any other foreign currency. And it has to be left in cash. What they do is they give you the key. You get you give them 500 Namibian dollars. They put that in an envelope with your name on it, and they keep that exact cash to give you back when you hand the key in. This is to deter loss of keys, which is a big problem for them here. So at this point you've got a junction. On the right is where you would drive, and you drive around there to the accommodation. But we, since we're walking and we're allowed to, we're going to cut through the fort. This is a very historic fort. Built in the 1900s, this is for 120 years old and has an amazing history. Was a German outpost originally, caused friction and saw some battles with the local people of Ambos in this area, especially with King Nahali, who the waterhole is now named after, and the gate north of here. At the moment it's not actually used, but it is still nice to come in and have a look around. Originally, when Namutoni opened as a rest camp, the only rooms to stay were in the fort. So the rooms in front of us now used to be where you used to stay, and then there used to be a campsite. When they expanded and built the... Oh, a bit hot. Anyway. When they expanded and built the rooms and the bush chalets, they then converted this into sort of a everybody entertainment area. I'm just going to stand in the shade over there, right in the middle, so you can have a look around. I see they've filled in, this used to be a well here, and they've filled it in. I'll tell you a story about that later. Let's get you in the shade. There we go. Oh, no, I haven't quite got you. There. When they built the bush chalets and the rooms, they then converted this into sort of a everything area for like the centre of activity. So over on our right hand side was the restaurant where they served all the meals. There was a bar, there was toilets here, there were some shops, there was a jewellery shop, and up on the top level of the fort there was a deck which was a viewing deck and a bar as well, where you could sit and have drinks and overlook the other side of the King Nahali waterhole. In the corner, you can't quite see it here, if I do move over here, you'll be able to see the tower, which was the watchtower, which has got the, where can I go and save that for you? It's got the flag flying nicely there in the afternoon breeze. I'm not sure if the tower's open at the moment, we'll try and check that out later, but there's the tower. And you can actually go up the tower, and there's a viewpoint. You can go up there for sunset as well. But that is still open. Everything else, though, now unfortunately is closed, because unfortunately the facilities inside the fort weren't big enough to cope with the number of people that were coming through. So especially at meal times, because they used to spill the tables out into the courtyard here and put lanterns out. It was really beautiful, atmospheric. I absolutely loved it. But unfortunately the facilities here, the kitchen facilities for cooking and everything, are just not big enough, because although it looks quite a big space, there wasn't enough facilities to actually support all the tourists that were coming through. So unfortunately they closed it down in here and moved back to the old restaurant, which is I think it was built in the 60s. It was the first restaurant I ate at in Etosha in the 90s, and it's perfectly good. It's got no character to it, like eating in a fort, but it serves its purpose. And I'm not sure what they're going to do with the fort. Apparently there is plans to do something with it, but I don't know what. We'll keep you updated as that progresses. So now, as you head out the other exit of the fort, see this beautiful termite mound on my left hand side, and also on the left there's actually a truck doing some water refilling of the water tanks. Just behind there is the King Nahali waterhole, and you can see all those reeds. That is where the waterhole is. So now we're actually heading to the swimming pool area. So as you come from the fort, right in front of us is the restaurant bar. To the left are the rooms and the chalets. Behind the restaurant bar is the camping site, and slightly to the right is the shop area. So we'll have a wander around them all, so you can see how beautiful it is. And it is busy because it's midday, so we're going to quickly skirt round this way. And this is definitely what you should be doing on the hot afternoons. Do your morning game drive, then come in, cool off in the pool, get something to eat at the restaurant, and then enjoy the pool. And then go out on your evening game drive later on. There is toilet facilities here as well, and a changing room and showers. The other nice thing with Namutoni is the beautiful gardens they have. All around you can see they've kept the trees and the gardens really nice. You can see why this was a favourite spot to establish an outpost in the early days, because it sits on a natural artesian well which provides really good water for this area. So there's good tree growth, good shade, good water supply, and a strategic position. So right in front of us is the rooms. We will come to the rooms, and the bush chalets are behind the rooms. We'll come to them in a little while. First we're going to wander over to the restaurant bar area, and then the shop, which is over here. It should be quite quiet. It's mid-afternoon, the lunch rush has gone. A lot of people come here, have their lunch, chill by the pool, and then go and eat later, so we shouldn't be disturbing anybody. There's more rooms on our left here. And this was the original restaurant complex that was built when they first opened the camp to tourists, and is still serving strong. So what they have added this outside area. So basically you could eat your dinner out here, and the evening meals are set out here, and it's actually really nice sitting outside here eating your meal, although it can get a bit warm even in the evenings and during the day. Ooh, way too hot for me. So I'll just show you inside, because there is actually this area in here which has seating which is a bit more shaded, and there's the bar area in the centre there. This going inside here, well, I think the power's off at the moment. This will just show you the interior restaurant area. There's a few people in here, so and this is where breakfast, lunch and dinner can be served. We will talk more about that later when we actually go and eat there. So as it is, we'll carry on outside, making our way around this way. As Singh says, you can sit here and have cold drinks in the afternoon, and at lunchtime they serve light meals from the kiosk. There's also toilets here. Heading round this way, you can see this is a busy area. It may be a bit busy for us to go in the shop today, but you can see people coming back from their game drives or preparing to go out on their game drives. You park here and either go to the restaurant or into the shop, which if it's very busy, let's have a little look inside. I've got a power outage at the moment, so you may not be able to see much, but it's a well-stocked shop. It's got a smattering of souvenirs of all different kinds, but the main thing is obviously food. You have got firewood, firelighters, chips, snacks, postcards, and of course fridges full of cold drinks, alcohol and soft drinks. Okay, we'll hopefully come back here when there's some light, maybe, and it's not so busy. Also, you have ice cream. Ooh, ice cream thing is empty. Okay, so and the shop operates Monday to Sunday, 7 a.m. until 6:30. So if you're on a late game drive, they'll try not to run into each other. If you're on a game drive and you're coming back at 7, the shop's going to be closed. So make sure you come at midday and pick up your stuff for the shop. So let's head back towards the rooms now, and then we'll do the campsite. Can you hear the cicadas? Ooh, it is amazing. And again, you've got this beautiful garden area in the centre, which can be a nice place to relax. There's also a lot of life in this garden area under the trees. What I do sometimes is grab one of my little portable chairs from my combi, and I go and sit in the shade with my camera and a long lens and photograph the birds. Sometimes the mongoose. There's some mongoose, banded mongoose. There's also some crimson-breasted shrikes. You see hornbills, sometimes the hoopoe, a couple of woodpeckers, starlings. They all live happily in this green area. So if you sit there for a little while, you can get some good pics of them, and it's quite a nice, cool place to sit without crowds of people. So we've now arrived at the double rooms. There's 3 blocks of double rooms. Here's one block, 2 more blocks over there. They're all en suite. They're all very nice and spacey, and they're quite popular. Each of them have their own little veranda area outside. Big room. It's all air conditioned. Ensuite bathroom with a bath, which is very nice. I can show you some pictures from inside of those. And as you can see, they're very closely located, both the swimming pool and the restaurant. So a lot of people like that. You can't actually park right outside your room. You park here in this area behind, and then you just walk through to your chalet. So that's the rooms. Then as we carry further on this way, we're heading to the bush chalets. Now these are all set out in this beautiful area. Oh, it is hot this afternoon. Here we go. There we go. And this is where all the bush chalets are located. So they're spread out in a big circle around here, a bit like a village. And these are all much bigger versions of the rooms. There is a single bedroom and twin bedrooms for sleeping 2 or 4 people in these chalets, different ones, but they're all equipped out the same. They all have really big spacious rooms, desk, fridge, kettle, tea, coffee, ensuite bathroom and outside shower. So the equipment level in the rooms and the chalets is all very good and pretty much the same. And what I'm going to do, because you can see they go all around there, I'm actually going to cut across here and go to the campsite now, which is the third option of places to stay at Namutoni. Now hopefully in this heat it'll be nice and quiet. A lot of campers tend to turn up fairly late in the day after they game drive and set up, because, well, it's too hot to put the tent out this time in the afternoon, and a lot of vehicles run with a roof tent. So if you're out game driving, you've taken your campsite with you. But, let's wander through here. So we're just coming out of the bush chalets area. Campsite's right in front of us, and the restaurant and bar is to the right. So nothing's too far away from anything in Namutoni, but nothing really feels like it's on top of each other either, which is really nice. So Namutoni camping site gets mixed reports from our guests. It is the only campsite that is pretty much grassed all year round, which makes it nice camping. The campsites are all set out individually, unlike Okakeo, where they're, I'll show you later this week, where they're a little bit higgledy-piggledy. And each of the campsites has its own table, lamp, electric and a water point. Afternoon. There is 3 ablution blocks. Actually, no, there's 2. Oh yes, there's 2 ablution blocks. Sorry, one at one end of the campsite up there, one at this end of the campsite here.